So what is JavaScript? So JavaScript, again, it's a lightweight object-oriented programming language. Now, what is object? So that becomes like a Java. Everything around us an object. Every object is having the behavior and the method like that. So many in-depth meaning is there. We'll see that in the TypeScript. So usually why this language came means, like when Java is there at that time itself, server side, so many things we need to do, the backend. So actually JavaScript is specifically developed for that server side only, backend. Later what happened is this is a very dynamic, very advanced features. If we want to create, uh, all the browser use the JavaScript in the backend. So now modern web application like Node.js, so many things came into the market, especially last 5 years is something very big boom happened in the technology. So what happened? This, okay, it is simply like browser itself. It is using the JavaScript. If I use a JavaScript programming language, then automation going to be even more easier, right? Like developer is also using same programming language, testing team also using the same programming language, means definitely it is going to be a game changer. So it is used by several websites. To my knowledge, 98% of websites, I'm saying if you take in the entire world, 98% of the websites are developed with the help of JavaScript only. So it's scripting for web pages. It can be interpreted full-fledged programming language, dynamically interactivity. So in nowadays, some dynamic pop-up, sometimes you can add some backend tag during runtime, you can hide it. So many functionalities are there that can be done very easily with the help of JavaScript. And this is what the main thing. It is used to build a modern web application. So what is the problem with Selenium is Selenium will not work properly in modern web application, Node.js application. So that's a game changer because Selenium was dominating the web application almost for a decade. But now web application, when they increased their level to like modern web applications, comes with a lot of functionality where Selenium is unable to compete. So JavaScript, just like that, it did. So it directly interact without loading the page every time. The traditional website uses JavaScript to provide several forms of interactivity. I mean, simply in simple word, modern web modern web application we can able to build with the help of JavaScript. Now comes the most important point. There is no connectivity between JavaScript and Java. Remember, Java is different, JavaScript is different. Actually, this guys made a very clever move when Java was like trending at that time, like 15 years back. They purposefully kept this name. The name was suggested and provided in the time when Java was gaining popularity. Actually, they put a case on JavaScript. Later, that was like, no, no, this is a different programming language, and that got resolved. So, Java and JavaScript are not same. Keep this point always in mind. But if you already know Java, when I am going to code, you can see the syntax, everything, literally it will be same. And why you need to learn JavaScript? Of course, it's the most popular programming language. And in the backend, we will use so many frameworks, Node.js, jQuery. See, this is another important point for automation resource. Whenever we want to start an automation, we will do a feasibility analysis. Like, what was the backend application which is used to develop this particular web application? It may be a web application, but backend, it can be Node.js, it can be many things, Flex, Flash, many things are there in the Java based, like that, many type of applications are there. Now, this JavaScript is having what to say, compatibility with almost all type of backend software. So that is what they are saying, and it's everywhere. So for modern web applications, we know these are all the most used browser, which is also uses the JavaScript. That is the browser we use for automation. Hence, JavaScript is important. And when it comes for performance, uh, then aesthetic view, the easy way of accessing the object. So for all the thing GUI experience, JavaScript is best. And then again, if we next area is mobile application, mobile app, mobile web application, where nowadays JavaScript is used. So it is having a tons of frameworks and library already. It is developed, it is available, so directly we can use that. And the feature is again all the browser it will support. And this syntax is similar to C programming. Suppose you don't know C programming, no need to worry about it. That's why it is called structured programming language. And very important, this is a good thing for a beginners, it's a weakly typed language. Usually in Java, when you declare a variable, we have to remember all the data types like int, float, string, non-primitive data type, like that we have it. But here you no need to mention that. You have to use some variable like keyword like var. Automatically during runtime, it will take care of the data types. It means what? This is going to be very easy for you. And of course, this follow the oops concept. And remember this oops concept only named as a TypeScript. And it's a lightweight. Of course, when we want to transfer data between the server, that should be lightweight, and JavaScript can do it. Very important. It's a case sensitive. Case sensitive means capital and small having the meaning, and can open on all, it will work on all operating system. It provides good control user over the web browser. This is the main reason we use it for automation. Just for knowledge, how many applications, client side validation, back end, front end, manipulating HTML pages. So nowadays, if you go and check, there will not be any tags. You right click and see the something called view source code. Before and all, I can able to copy some source code. You have a website, I will go and see the page source code, copy paste, I can create another website. But nowadays, nothing. It will be that during runtime when you, okay, for example, you click on a button and it is going to open some web, something like a table. That code will be inserted during the runtime. So many advantages we have. For web developers, that's an advantage. But when it comes for an automation, guys, that is the biggest problem. For automation, you have to inspect, you have to find the web element or object or some options in the web pages during runtime. We will inspect and do it, but these are all like hidden object. So that's the tricky part of automation. User notifications like dynamic pop-ups, iframes, and the data which loads in the backend very quickly. And there are something called Ajax functionality. Ajax functionality is one of the biggest problem features for Ajax features, or this functionality is a problem for Selenium, which is very easily JavaScript will handle. And presentation server application. So in short, this is widely used in all the areas. So for this, if we want to code, of course we have so many IDE, so Visual Studio Code, Microsoft thing. And then in additionally, now we are going to install something called Code Runner extension. So all the basics I will directly teach you with the code itself. Slides are there. We will parallelly check here. Let's learn with the programming language itself. And I hope you would have done. If not, please raise the ticket and do this installation as early as possible. And very important, you have a personal computer, go with it. Nothing wrong, there is no security violation. Personal computer also, you can code and submit to me. And here what you need to do is, there is something called extension. When you open this Visual Studio Code, okay, I'll open from the start. Type Visual, you will have a Visual Studio Code. It will open. And now I have already created a folder in C drive. So what you can do, We and go to C drive and the users. Yeah. Directly anywhere, any place you can create that folder, wherever the safer location. I have already created a folder called JavaScript 2024, this batch. And now what we can do, file, open folder, select folder. So whatever we are going to do, everything will be here. So first we must know in which location our program is there. And then we are going to code and execute. So parallelly, we should able to see the result. For that, there is something called code runner. You just search for it, you will get this dot run. What you need to do, you have to install it and see. This is for almost all the programming language, C plus Java, every important programming language is there. This is going to help you. It is going to save a big time, especially during the coding. Once this is done, let's come back to this one. Of course, this tool will have all the menu bar, and you can search something, source code, you can connect with Git, you can debug the code, all the extensions. Here you have Test Explorer, where we can create folder structure. So this first option where you will have this Explorer, if you click on this, it will hide. If you click, then it will come. Okay. Now inside this, we are going to create our first program, very easiest program. You have this option, new file, new folder, refresh, and then collapse. So let me click on this, or right click and you can do it. The first program is all about the comments. Our first program, I would say, first program. Now comes very important, the extension. What is the extension you give? Accordingly, the file will change to that. It is JS. See, the second I type JS, you see the icon, Java, XML file, JSON file. This automatically it is trying to identify. For us, it is JS. JS means JavaScript. Remember, extensions are very, very, very important for beginners. Enter. That's it. Now we have created the file, Java file, JavaScript file. So here, how you know this program is working means, in Java we use system.out.println. In Python we put printf, print, right? Same here, it is console dot log. It's a method. Within the double quotes, whatever you are going to give, that it will display. For example, I will say, welcome to Java script. JavaScript is a single word, remember that. And whether we need to put semicolon, it's not a compulsory. You can put or you don't need to put. It will work. So now I want to run, very easy. Right click. You can able to see this option, run code. This will be enabled only if you install that code runner, or else you can't see this. So please install that plugin or extension. Now when I run this, we will have so many things here: output, debug, terminal, ports. So in the output, we can able to see, yes, it started. The output is welcome to JavaScript, and it execution is completed. How long it took to complete this execution? Almost just 1 second only. So in order to print an output, what we need to do, console.log, welcome to JavaScript. Now there are some fundamental practice we should do it. See, it's not like directly I code and go. If someone opens this program, they should be able to understand what this program is, right? So readability, we should improve the readability of the any programming language. So how can I give this message? I will say this is used to display. When I type this, what is happening is the compiler, this which VS Code thought it is also a code, but it's not a code. We are giving some information, no? So how can I give that information so that it will not be executed during runtime? Means double forward slash, same like Java, We call this as a single line comments. You no need to always mention this, but I'm just saying for your knowledge purpose, it's a single line comment. This is used to display output, something like that. So this is the first thing. And then comes, okay, what if I want to type 10 lines? Will I do like this? It's going to be a very big problem, right? So there is something called multi-line comments. So how to do that is /* when you enter, it should come, but it is not coming in cell. Then */. Now you can type as much thing as you want. So it is used to display the output values like that. See, now you can able to type this as much as you want. These are all first fundamentals. When you code it, what is the first thing you have to remember? Any programming language, readability. You're coding for the team, not for you. So whenever we code anything above that, it is always a good practice to use the single line comment. Now I will execute. See, it is considering this line alone as a programming language, not this. These are all like additional informations to the user. So now the first thing is Java comments. So comments are used to explain the JavaScript code to make it more readable. Of course, when someone read, they can understand. Single line comments, // multi-line comments, /* and */. And now comes, there is another usage of this which will be very helpful for us. That is, it can also be used to prevent executing when testing the alternative code. So what that mean is, suppose someone already written some program. Just assume, okay, they have already written this program. Now let's try to change this JavaScript, Playwright, TypeScript. Yes. Okay, remove this simply. Now let's run this. And whenever you run this, you have this option also here. Right click. You have panel position. It is always a good to keep it in the right side. If you click, you will get this full view. Then you can adjust this. And all the previous logs also will be there. This is what our latest one. So you will get confusion sometimes when you keep it in the bottom. You will look into this, why still it is not changed. So always a good practice. Clean the output, go for the execution. So we have 3 pieces of code. That is welcome JavaScript, Playwright, TypeScript class. Now let's assume like already someone has written this code. We want to try some new code, or some code is descoped. What should I do? Simple solution, I can delete it, right? But remember, you don't have right to delete any one code. If this is a common programming practice, we will do it. So what I can do is I can comment it. Either you can use // for commenting this code, or else if it is a one line, okay, or if it is a 10 or 50 lines, what you will do? So go for a multi-line. And you will say, okay, all these lines, I don't want this. And now what we will be doing, adding the updated code. I'm just saying that how we do it in real-time project. We will give the date like 05/02/2024, adding the updated code for XYZ concept, something like that. Now what we will do, now we will write that code. And we will come to automation, something like that. So now when we clear this, when I run this, what will happen? This code is commented, our new code is executed. So in future, someone comes here, they will understand, okay, this is our latest code. Suppose this is having a problem, means they have to come up with a new some other combination of code. They will see here, okay, this is already tried, this is tried. So let me come up with some other better solution. So even though the Java comments are used for readability, this is the readability, but there is an alternative usage, like we can comment the code, we can give some additional information. So these are all the two important usage we have. So everyone good till now? You can drop a message, yes, okay, anything is fine for me. Understood importance of comments?
Yes, Vinoth.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. Yeah.
It's very easy, as I already said. Now let's move on to the next one, that is variables. So what is this variable? Let me say a layman terminology. If you go to kitchen, some of them have this habit, especially some product are very easy to find. Some of them, they take a small plastic box, they put something and they will label it. This is what this chili powder, something like that. If you've seen, I have seen like that in many kitchen, small box with some label. So that is nothing but a small container where you keep something, right? That is what a variable. So here variable means are the containers for storing the data and information. So technically, so here what we can keep a data, number, name, many things we can keep it. So it's a variable. So what does, again, if you split variable means the value can change. If you see you're going to keep inside that container something, tomorrow it will reduce, then you're going to replace, or you're going to put that and keep some other thing into that, right? Same way in JavaScript also, you want to save a data, the data will vary, it will change. If any particular data is going to keep on changes, then I have to use the concept of variables. First point. Okay, what does the exactly contradict to a variable is constant. Pi is equal to 3.14. It can't be changed. That value cannot be changed. Our Aadhaar card number, SSN number in US. So every country will have national identity. Some citizens, they will give a different name. So every citizen will have one number that will never change. So that is all we call it as constant. But this is something a variable. Our address, our contact number, definitely it will change. So variable means a value will change. Okay, I want to say this to a program means how will you say that means? Very easy in JavaScript. Just you must know, mention var. That's it. Because when you compare this with other programming language like Java, data type needs to be mentioned like int, float, double, boolean. So many things we need to do it. But here you just put var, a small example. If it is going to be a string, we mention within the double quotes. If it's a numerical number means directly. So automatically during the runtime, JavaScript will consider, okay, this is a string, this is a number, everything. That is why JavaScript is untyped language. So you can see it can hold a value of any data type using this, and you no need to explicitly say what is its data type. This will automatically consider during the execution of the program. So this is one of the biggest advantage. It will avoid lot of confusion, especially those who don't like programming language. This is a very easy feature for them. How will you declare us? Very easy. With this, I will wind up. So the second program is, let me create to this variables.js. So how you're going to declare a variable? var. That's it. num1 equal to 10. One more variable, num2 equal to 20. Now I want to display this and see console.log. So num1, same way, num2. Suppose if you want to do an addition, there is something called plus. You can do that also. Of course, we will learn operators, but just I'm saying when we run this, So 10, 20, nothing but 10, 20. This is 10 plus 20, 30. So a very easily to declare a variable. Suppose if you want to declare name, employee name equal to within the double quotes, then also automatically it will take. So you no need to worry about the data type. So it is a container which is used to save the value. You see, automatically it got the value. So that's for today, team. Uh, we have so many topics. We'll try to do it everything one by one. As of now, there is no assignment. What you guys need to do is please take care of the installation part, extension part. Extension code runner needs to be done. When we create a program, we have to give the extension .js. So there is two types of comments. One is single line comments, double forward slash, multi-line comments, slash, star, star, slash, and then you want to display in your output console.log. In the log it will come. To declare a variable, we use var keyword. And then comes the variables. So variables means what? It is nothing but we are going to save a particular value. The variables are contained for storing the data or information. One good part about JavaScript variable is it is an untyped language. Untyped language means you no need to explicitly say what its data type. So what we need to do, just mention var keyword followed by variable name equal to the value. Automatically during runtime it will consider its data type. If it is a string or it's an integer or number, it will take care of it. Let's see a little bit more about the before we move on to the data types, and little bit theoretically, suppose if we want to name a variable, we should follow these things. Like you can use lowercase letter, uppercase letter, underscore, dollar. So both special characters are allowed in JavaScript. Other than these two special character, if we use any other special character, it will not allow us to declare the variable name. And then always it should start with the letter, not with a number. If it's number, it will get confused. So you can give a variable name followed by the number. That's fine. Exactly 100% similar like Java only. And it is case sensitive. Case sensitive means what? Capital A and small a are not same. Both works based on the ASCII value. And we already know if we want to declare a variable, we will use the var keyword, var keyword. Now, of course, we will be using variable concept everywhere. So there is no need of specific program to explain these concepts. These are all very basic fundamentals. Now let's focus on data types. First of all, what is data type? It is like if we want to save a particular value to a container. So you have a container, you want to save it. So put it in a very easiest layman terminology. If you see in a container, sometimes you can put groceries in the same bottle, you can put some oil. So it's an oil or something, maybe dal. If that is a thing, see what is its unit? It's in the kg, it's in the liter. So this is how an oil is mentioned, right? That li liters, it is mentioned in terms of measured in terms of liter, and other things measured in terms of kg or kilogram, gram. So same way, when we want to save a particular value into a container, we have to say we have to in the Java and all, we will say it's data type, what type of a value we are going to save. So that is what data type. Good part is everything will be automatically taken care in the JavaScript, not like in Java you have to say like float, int, double, no needed. Just var variable name equal to that particular value. So based on that value, it will consider its data type. So now we will understand what are the data types we have it. So when we talk about data types, primitive data type and non-primitive data type. Non-primitive data type we will see in the TypeScript or little bit advanced topic. Let's focus only on, as of now, on primitive data type. So primitive data type means first one, number. So any number, any numerical number, integer, floating point, a decimal number, it can be of any range like 3 digit, 10 digit, whatever it is. Every number we will be considering as number data type. So even negative numbers, everything. Suppose if next one, string data type. So you want to represent any text character. So then it is a string data type. We will be mentioning within the double quotes or single quote. Anything is fine. It will work. Even single quote or double quote. It's up to you. Mostly we have a habit of using the double quotes for the string. I will be explaining everything with examples also. And then comes the Boolean, which is nothing but true or false. So this particular true or false will be widely used in the programming control statement. Will check for the condition, whether this condition is true, then execute a particular statement. If it is false, execute else statement. So this Boolean is that much important in programming language. So we'll be very widely using these three. Additionally, there is something called undefined. So you can declare a variable value. Sorry, you can declare a variable but without mentioning any variable to that. So it's an undefined, no? It's like, okay, you just got a particular container for a variable A, but it does not have any value, just A. Later we will put the things into that. Null means in that place, nothing is there. That is what intentional absence of any object. So totally 5 primitive data type. So every primitive data type we will see with an example. It's a very easy topic. So again, so I'm going to hide the float, hide the chart so that it will be easy for me to type. So now the next program. So if you have any queries, please note down and then we'll discuss. Okay, let me create the third program, and this is for data types dot JavaScript. Okay, so first one is number data type, where, okay, for example, any variable we have to declare with the help of var employment id, something 1 2 3 4 5. See, you can type any big number. We know it is automatically will take care of this allocation. Suppose if we put it in Java, int, sorry, it start with byte and then short, int, and then long. So 4 ways we will do it for an integer value, but here you no need to worry about it. According to the value, memory allocation will happen. So just number. Even you can mention dot something, so, or it will convert to the, it is like, this is also falls under the number data type. So I'll try to just print it and employment ID. And whenever you type something, press Ctrl S, you can see that symbol. See now, the symbol is there, right? Like a circle, like a circle. It's a circle only. So it means the program is not saved. When you run, you will not get the output. Always press Ctrl S. So let me run this, run the code, and you see 1 2 3 4 5. So this is the first data type. Second, of course, every type of numbers will fall here. Second one is string data type. When we talk about string data type, again, employment name, employee name. So I will give my one name within the double quotes. It's fine. Even you mention that with single quotes, then also it will work. So it's up to you. I have an habit of using the double quotes, because in all the programming language, double quotes means it's a string only. Okay, so I'll try to keep this here. Then the third third data type, it's a Boolean data type. So nothing but true or false. Again, I can say like status value equal to anything. Okay, I'll put false. I can mention it here. Now let's execute this. See, number, string, Boolean. So totally widely used these three types of data type, primitive data type. Now you can also have undefined. Undefined means say VAR. Okay, I'll go with address. So I didn't mention anything. It means it's an empty. You can put semicolon or even without semicolon also this will work. So I'll put here. Let's run this now. It will say undefined. So when you get undefined means what there is no value for that particular variable. And then finally it comes the null. So VAR email equal to null. Can put semicolon or else also it will work. Now let's try to print that. Now you can see it's a null. So same value only we will be getting it. So this is what primitive data type. Totally 5 primitive data types: number, string, boolean, undefined, null. Number means it's considered all type of number with decimal point, any range. String means even a single character or it's a sequence of character, nothing but a string, words, paragraph, whatever it will consider. And boolean means true or false. You're not defining any variable value, then it is undefined. You can also mention there null. Mostly this object reference things and all will come at that time. Null will be very useful one. So this is about the data type. Just drop a message everyone could on this program. Shall we move on to the next concept? Okay. So if you have any doubt, you have to drop a message. While teaching also, if you are not getting parallel, you can drop a message. After completing this, I will see again, and if needed, I will teach again. So this non-primitive data type, object, arrays, functions, everything, we see it later. So in simple word, primitive means it is already the programming language is assigning, okay, if it's a number, if it's a string, this much memory I should allocate. That's what primitive data type. Suppose if user want to define our own thing means then it falls under non-primitive data type. All the objects, object creations, arrays means like single variable contains set of multiple values. You create a function, date, regular expressions. These are all advanced features. We'll see it in the later part. Now we will move on to the JavaScript operator. So first of all, what is operator? Please listen carefully. I'm going to reuse multiple concepts in the same program. First of all, what is Java operators? Sorry, JavaScript operators. So it is a symbol that is used to perform the operation. So it's like, for example, if I put plus, we know it's an addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So this is something we are very familiar, right? So that particular one symbol is having its own meaning. Same way in JavaScript, we have 8 type. Actually, eighth one is bitwise. We never use it, so I don't want to confuse the team. So I'm taking widely used 7 types of operator: arithmetic, comparison, logical, assignment, unary, conditional, and typeof operator. Everything we will see one by one with the example. It's a very easy one, but we will be using these concepts in the upcoming programs. So the next program, fourth one, operators dot JavaScript. Okay. So first one is, okay, let's first declare the variables where num1 equal to 10, where num2 equal to 20, where num3 equal to 30. Three variable values we are using it. Now with this variable I'm going to teach every concept. First one is arithmetic operator, arithmetic operators. So arithmetic means what? Addition is there, subtraction, multiplication, division, and also modulus symbol. So with the help of console.log, let me try to implement all the arithmetic operation. So first one, suppose if I want to do an addition means, what is the symbol is plus. So plus number 1 plus number 2. It means what? Here the number 1 is 1 minute. Suppose here when you see here, what is the number 1? 1 minute. Keep this side. So number 1 is 10, number 2 is 20. So when you do addition, number 1 will be replaced by 10, number 2 will be replaced by 20. So 10 plus 20, you will get the output as 30. Simple. Like how we do it in calculator. So that's what the addition. Let me execute and show you. See, 10 plus 20. Suppose just now we saw like within the double quotes, we can mention a string. If you see, here we mention something within the string. If we want to display a static value, we mention within the double quotes. It's a string. Then variable we saw. Suppose if I want to combine this string and also variable, then there is something called concatenation. We should do it. For example, I should display like addition equal to. If that is the case, then I can mention addition. So addition of two numbers, subtraction, addition, I'll put addition equal to. See, now this is a string, this is a variable. How can I combine this in JavaScript? As we say concatenation. Just mention comma. In Java and all, we will put plus symbol. It is comma. It's similar to Python. Now it's very easy actually. It will not confuse. Straightforward. When we when we run this, see here addition equal to 30. Same formula I'm going to follow for everything. Subtraction equal to comma. Let's subtract number 3 minus number 2. It means what? 30 minus 20. It is 10. We'll go for coding and then execute in a single row. Multiplication equal to. Multiply means you're going to multiply two number. Okay, number 1 and what is that symbol? It is star or asterisk symbol into number 2. So 10 into 20, 200. And let me run this. See here, 30, 10, 200. Very straightforward. Now comes the division. So division equal to, so you want to divide the number 3 by, so division is forward slash by number 1. So 30 divided by 10, it will be 3. Perfect. Now comes modulus operator. You want to find the remainder of a particular value. So how can you do that? So in this example, directly what I will mention, okay, we can put this also. Remainder, you want to find the remainder, it is percentage symbol, then this one. So what exactly will happen? This is similar to, you're going to divide number 3 by number 1. So mm, so you put like this. 1 minute. So when you divide, what will be the remainder? So it is so this two na. You put 30, 10, 3 is a 30, 0. So the remainder will be 0. See, this is quotient. This is remainder. Or if you want to find a remainder, what is the symbol? Percentage symbol, we should use it. See remainder. So let's use some other number for easy understanding. Suppose I want to divide number 10 by 3, percentage by 3. What will be that? It will be 1. So you're trying to divide 3 3s are 9. So this is nothing but the remainder. Now you will get the output 1. So this concept is very widely used to find a number is even or odd. Suppose if you divide a number by 2 and if remainder is 0, we call that as even number. If it is not equal to 0, we call it as odd number. See, such a programming concept we can able to achieve just with this modulus operator. See, now modulus equal to 1. The first one is done. Simple, straightforward mathematical operation, that is arithmetic operators. Now let's move on to the next one. So I hope you all clear. This is a very simple one. If you have any doubt, parallelly put a message. Comparison or relational operator. So what exactly this means? You're trying to compare two values. That is what comparison, right? You're trying to compare. Okay, one number is 10, another number is 20. I want to compare this, whether this both of them are equal. See, when I say equal, how it is represented? No, it is double equal to. If it is a single equal to, that we call it as assignment operator, because in using the single equal to only, we assign a value to a variable. But you want to make sure these two values are equal, then how? Double equal to. Whenever you compare, what will be the output is? It is Boolean or true or false. So here, both of them equal? No, the output will be false. And like what all we have seen it in mathematics, like greater than we can check, less than we can check, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and how to mention not equal to. These two values are not equal to, right? This is represented like exclamatory symbol equal to. This is what not equal to. This is what equal to. These two are something, it will be new to you. These are all we have seen in school mathematics itself. Greater than, less than, greater than. In there it will be mentioned like greater than or equal to. We don't have symbol like this, so we have to put greater than equal to. Less than or equal to, we have to mention like this. But equal to means double equal to, not equal to means exclamatory symbol equal to. So these are all the takeaway point from this comparison. So let's try to do that as a program. A very easy one only. So arithmetic is done. Comparison, or there is a relationship between each value, so relational operators. For this, again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a variable. We are going to declare few more variables. So here already we use the same variable. I can't use it, so I'll go with num4 30, num5 60, num6 90. So all three in terms of 30 I got. So what I'm going to do now is okay. First we are going to compare these two values are equal or not. So equal means double equal to. So we are going to compare how num4 is equal to num5. Think logically whether 30 is equal to 60. No, right? Both of them not equal. So the output will be false. Okay. Or else like this. So this like so okay, I have another condition. Let me put this as a 30. Now I can go for now what I will do num4 is equal to num6. So 30 and 30 both are equal. Then what will be the output? It will be true. So here the output is true. And I'll go with not equal to. This is how it is represented. So not equal to means how we can say these two values are not equal to because one is 30. So not equal to number 4 and a number 5. Both of them definitely are not equal. So the output will be true only. We'll see at the end. And it is always a good practice as a beginner when we do any programming language. Don't run and come for a conclusion. Before running itself, you should know what will be the expected output. Like that, you should practice. And greater than we can check it, or in a single go, I will check for greater than or equal to. So what I will do, num5 or num4 is greater than or equal to num5. So what exactly we want to prove here is num4 is greater than or equal to num5. No, right? It is less than. 60 is the bigger value. So what will be the output? We will get the output as false. And we'll try for less than or equal to. Now we will go with I want false. Num5 is less than or equal to num6. Again, if you think so 60 is less than or equal to 30. I'm just thinking. Okay. This is false because this is a bigger number, right? So this also the output will be false. Suppose if it is num5 is greater than or equal to num6, then no doubt it will be true. For a reason only, I'm trying to bring a true false like this. You will understand that reason soon. See, it is true false. That is equal to. We say let's try to comment. This one is not equal to. I can say this one greater than or any one condition equal to this one lesser than or equal to. Okay. Okay. Let's things type. What's this one? Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. Everyone good till now? All good? Please put a text message. Till now everyone good because I'm going to reuse this. Okay. Perfect. Less than or less than whatever it is. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next one. That is, so we are done with arithmetic operator, comparison or relational operator. Now comes the logical operator. Very nice concept actually. Very useful concept for us. This one. With these two we can play with many input condition. Of course, arithmetic and all rarely we will use it, but these two are very, very widely used things. Okay, logical operator means there are three things available. One is and, another one is are, another one is not. This is not at all used, but still I'll teach you. These two are widely used. Okay, first we will try to understand what is the concept of this. I'll go with the and first of all, okay? Logical and. I think 11 physics logic gates, you will have this. So you have giving a two input. In the two input, you like two condition input or like you are getting two things. One is true, another one is also true. So the condition one, condition two. Now what will be the output if it is and? Anyone remember? If so, please text. So what will be the output? It will be true. So remember, and when you will get true is when both the conditions are true, then only the output will be true. Suppose true, false. Any idea what will be the output?
False.
It is false. Very simple. If even if there is one false, you what is the output? It is false. Suppose false, true, then also false. And of course, both of them are false. Obviously, it will be false. So what is the takeaway point here is how to remember and is when all the conditions are true, then only the output will be true. It is very widely used one, especially uh, requirements like multiple condition you have to check. Okay, the person needs to donate. Okay, the person needs to donate a blood. So first condition, yes, the age must be greater than or equal to 18. And also weight must be greater than or equal to 50. Then only the, and also the person should not have tattoo, and also the person should not drunken for last 3 days. So and like you're trying to combine multiple condition, no? Everything if it matches, then only yes, this person can donate the blood. So such type of requirement is very, very easily we can achieve it with the help of logical and. Okay, let's go and see. So it's two true means the output will be true. Any one false, the output will be false. Okay, so let me try to do that here. Third one, logical operator. In that, the first one is logical and. How it is represented? No, it is represented with double ampersand. Okay, see here. Uh, let me put this. We already know this is a one condition, this is another condition. So let me directly try to put this. This is one condition, and again I'm trying to combine with another condition. See, you can have n number of condition. If you want to club it together, use and. Both of them are true means what will be the output? It will be true. Okay, let me clear this. See, it is true. Suppose if any one is false, control C. So this one is true. I'll take any from here one more. This is a false. One is true. Another one is false. No. So and this one. This is true and this is false. Obviously, we know the output will be false. See, this is what just now we discussed, right? And two things are true, or all the conditions are true, then only you will get output true, or else any one if it is false. So always remember in terms of true. All true, output is true. Now, logical or. So again the same story. So now R is represented by pipe symbol. This will be above the enter in your keyboard. There will be a backslash, shift backslash. If you mention, you will get this pipe symbol. So again the same story, condition 1, condition 2, the output. So here now I will type P T. T means true, F means false. So what is the meaning of R here is, how to remember is, any one is true, the output will be true. So any one here, both of them are true means, then of course it will be true. When we come here, one is true, one is false. But still, one is true, right? Any one is there, right? True. False, true, true. But here every condition is false. So the output will be false. This is called logical OR. How to remember? Any one is true, then output is true. So again, some conditions, maybe in order to apply some particular, okay, you want to get a SIM card. So either any one of the proof, Aadhaar card or passport or some electricity bill or driving license or. If you don't have anything, that's it. You are not eligible to get the SIM. So any one condition should match. Then only SIM card will be given. Such requirements, if you want to make it as a programmatic way, R will come into the picture. So let's go to the program. Okay. This is logical, or it is represented by double piping symbol. So what I will do is, I'll try to copy this. And what is this one? This one. Number 4 equal to number 6. It is true. Number 4 is greater than or equal to number 5, which is false. So one is true, another one is false. The output will be true. Any one condition is true, right? See, I have to press Control S. See, it is false. Oh my god, sorry. Or no. Okay. That's a problem when we copy paste. Now you see, true. One more time. These two are true. This is true, this is false. We know it. Any one condition is true, the output will be true. Now, what I will do is, I'll take this one. Or else, let me type. We have enough time. So we'll take two false condition. Two false means number 4 is greater than or equal to number 5. It's a false. Or this one also false. So both of them false means what will happen? The output will be false. So any one condition is true, we will get a true. If everything is false, it's obviously false. So that is called logical OR. See here, any one is true, we will get true. So R is also depends on the requirement, we can use it. So logical and logical OR is done, and we have one more thing called NOT operator. Logical NOT. It is represented by exclamatory symbol. Actually, this is also a very useful one. Like you may have multiple scenarios. See, it is exactly just try to remember this way. If any one matches, you go inside like this. So we say that as an R, right? So this logical means if you get true, your output will be false. It will give exactly the opposite of what is your input. So if true, it will change to false. If it is false, it will change to true. So I will go with a new variable is true. I'm simply saying is true and declaring it as a true. Now what I'm going to do, um, so this one within double quotes, I mentioned this. This is all we call it as not. Not. So we are saying that and we'll see what happens. See, actually it's a true, right? Opposite of that, what? False. Suppose if we kept it false, here it will be true. Not. Where it is used, uh, actually in Java, if you put this in the programmatical way in automation, mostly the handling calendar and all, sometimes we want to make sure the value is not what we expected. So we will keep on changing until the value comes what we want. So now you may not get it. When we see handling calendar, you will get it. So there, that is the one place in automation I have used this not. So it depends on the requirement. We will use this, but this is definitely we will use logical and logical or control statements and all. If we want to use this will be very helpful for us. Everyone good? Please drop a message. And 18058 phone number is there, right? Please rename it because I have to take attendance. Please rename or at least tell me who is that. So it's like someone joined through mobile. Everyone in the call? Could you please confirm me? Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
Can't separate the board.
yeah, I'm also here.
So 18058. Who's that?
Not sure.
It's an US number, right?
Yeah, looks like US number, but not sure.
So Straviki, who? Okay, fine. Then you will get attendance only for these four members. Okay. So let's move on to the next topic. Till now, everyone good, right? Very straightforward topic. Till now, all good, right?
Yes.
Let's go to the fourth operator, that is assignment operator. We have already used this assignment operator, that is equal to. When you want to assign a particular value to a variable, we will use equal to. Sometimes what will happen to this assignment operator, when we can able to combine with arithmetic, plus, plus, minus. So it is like you can mention plus, equal to. So what this mean is you're trying to add, okay, I will tell, like this is what plus equal to minus equal to, we can mention like this in a shortcut way. So what does this exactly meaning? I will tell you with an example. So mostly equal to we will use it like this and all. So not was that much used in the automation point of view, but still we'll see. Raman. So Raman, are you in the call? Because attendance is fine, but I want you guys to listen. Or else no attendance, guys. I'll go to the meeting room. Okay. Start. Fourth one, it's an assignment operator. So already we have seen it, but still a equal to single equal to, I'm declaring to a variable a 10, to the variable b 5. So what this means? You're assigning this value to a variable equal to. Now in addition to that, we can also have as and assignment. So plus equal to, that is add and assign. Add is plus, equal to means assignment. When you combine, so what exactly, if you mention like how a plus equal to b, what is the meaning of this is a equal to a plus b? What is this meaning? A to a, you're trying to add a plus b. So this is what the meaning. If that is the case, what will happen here? We can try to figure it out. See, you mentioned like this. Let me try to put here and execute means a is equal to a plus b. What is the value of a? It is 10. The value of b, it is 5. So a equal to 15. So the output will be 15. Let's check that. A plus equal to b. Let's run this. Now you see 15. So let me clear this. Same way, we'll see one more example. Variable. This time I'll put I equal to 10. Why I didn't use the same variable? I'll come to that. Same, like same value, but different variable, because when I execute again a minus b equal to, what is the a value now? It will be 15. For that, it will be working again. Okay, what I want to convey is now a minus equal to b. So we, what is the meaning of this particular one? Minus equal to a minus equal to b. The meaning is a equal to a minus b. This is what the meaning. So here, if I run it again, now still I didn't replace with I and j. What's the problem will come here is, you may think like a minus b is 10 minus 5, it should be 5, right? That is what you will think. But what happened? When we ran here, the value of a changed to 15. 15 minus 5, it is 10. That's why we got 10 here. So this confusion will come. That is why I'm trying to use some other variable. So I'll I and j. So now let's run this. Now you see what happens. First one, 10 plus 5, 15. Yes. Second one, 10 minus 5, it is 5. So that is what the meaning of this assignment operator. Shortcut way, you can able to see like this in many programs, but in terms of automation, definitely we will not use it. I never used it. This add and equal to symbol. So let's create 5. I can do it in the same program, but still it will be very lengthy one, right? So this time we are going to learn the fifth operator, that is unary operators. And this is the most highly used operator in the looping statement. While, do while, for loop and all, we want to iterate it. increment, decrement. So many concepts we will be doing it. And also in terms of customers, client interview and all, these questions may be asked. What is the difference between uh, pre-increment, post-increment? So let me try to teach you that now. So first one is pre-increment and another one is post-increment. So let's try to learn the trick first of all. So we are trying to learn with the help of variable I. So pre-increment means what? That before means this is how pre-increment is represented. To the reference of I, post-increment means after that, after I plus plus. So in all the looping statement, we will be using this only. So this is very important, but still we will learn the pre-increment also. And how you have to remember this concept is I'll type you the way to remember. So first value will be incremented and okay, value will be incremented first and then assign the value. First, I can first the value will be incremented and then assign the value. So what exactly this means? So I'm going to teach with two variable a equal to 10 and variable b equal to plus plus a. Okay, semicolon, I got used to it. Okay. So now what exactly happens here? What will be the value of a console.log and what will be the value of b? So let's try to figure it out. And whatever the tricks I'm teaching you, just follow that. Then only you will understand this particular concept. It is little bit tricky. See here, first of all, plus plus a means a equal to a plus 1. This is incremented by 1. So when we already know what is the value of a, it is 10. Then this line it will come b is equal to plus plus a. So plus plus a, first what they are saying, the value will be first the value will be incremented. So it means a is equal to a plus 1. What is the value of a? It is 10. 10 plus 1, which will be 11. So we understood the value of a with 11. So after incremented, then it will assign. Now we are assigning this to b no. So b equal to a equal to 11. So it means what? Therefore b will be equal to 11. So this is what the pre-increment. So you should remember with this word. First it will increment and then it will assign. So this piece of code, this is how it will be working. Why we want to know? Because in the looping or iteration, we will be using this concept a lot, but we will be using the post increment, but still this assignment and all you should know it. First it will increment and then it will assign the value. Everyone good till now? Okay, just drop a message, yes, no, whatever it is. Okay, fine. Now I'll try to clear this and we will execute and see. Okay, I have to press Ctrl S, then only. See here, I already said value of A is 11 and the value of B is 11, which we already knew it. This is pre-increment, but I never used pre-increment in any other programming concept. Post increment, everyone will use this. So I'll try to explain this now. So how to remember this? It will first assign the value and then increment will happen. Okay. So variable this time I will go with I equal to 10. Variable j equal to I plus plus. Post increment. No? So again, what is the value of I and j? So we have to find it. So let's try to understand this. Okay. See now. Okay. Let okay. Why to show that? Let's focus on this program. First of all, what is the value of I? I equal to 10. Now you have to understand this. J is equal to I plus plus. How this is executed? Just now I said no, we will be using this concept for sure. Try to understand this again. First, what will happen is it will assign the value. Assign the value means this piece of code will be executed. If that's the case, we already know what is the value of I. It is 10. Therefore, j will be equal to I will be equal to what is the value? It is 10. So, j value we understood 10. Now what will happen? Once this particular value is assigned, then increment will happen. Increment will happen means it will be incremented by 1. So I plus plus means I equal to I plus 1. So what is the value of I? It is 10 plus 1, which is nothing but 11. So the value of I will be 11, the value of j will be 10. So you have to remember this. This is how it will be. We will be definitely using this particular concept in all the looping statement. First, it will assign the value. Then only it will increment. Maybe next topic when we see the looping statement, you will get more clarity. But remember one point, we will be using post increment, nothing but this particular concept. So let me first execute. See answer. This is the answer. What is the value of I? It is 11. What is the value of j? It is 10. Everyone good now? Everyone good? Okay, guys. Thank you. Thank you for replying. So I'm going to recap this. What is pre-increment means? First it will increment. So the value of A will be incremented 1 by 1 and then it will assign to B. Here first it will assign. It means j equal to I and then it will be incremented. Then the value of I will be incremented by B. So this is called unary operator. So this one is done. Now the next one is conditional operator. So in the advanced programming and all, we will be using this type of concept. It is conditional operator. Okay, let's focus on this program. Let me clear this. Okay. First of all, what is conditional operator means? Question mark colon and you can give the conditional statement. So let me try to explain what exactly this will work. If you're going to check for a condition, if that is true means this question mark will be executed. I will show with the value, then value x or else value y. What this you will fully get a clarity. Just wait. I will try to explain you. We have to find a number is odd or even. So we already see this is an alternative way of writing if else. If else means we are going to learn that's the next topic. So at that time you'll get even more clarity. You have a number. Let's take a number equal to 10. Of course we know what is odd or even. If you divide a number by 2 and if remainder is 0, then it's an even number. If remainder is not equal to 0, it's an odd number. So how are we going to make it? I'm going to create a variable C because I want to print that. So I'm using this Now this number, the condition percentage 2 if it is equal to 0. So we are dividing a number by, so we are trying the modulus operator. If the remainder is 2, if the remainder is 0, then what is that particular meaning? It's an even. So you're trying to divide a number by 2. If this is what the remainder, if it is 0, what is it as even? Suppose if you put 11, then here it will be 1, which is not equal to 0, it will be odd number. This is the concept of even or odd number. That's what we are trying to achieve it here in a single line. So after condition, what I am doing is question mark, question mark, see question mark. So left side, right side. What exactly that means? Here I will say it's an even, colon, or else odd. So both the things, it's like a shortcut way of coding. Now I can show you in the console for better clarity. So dot log. So you're trying to print that number. You can put even this. That number is result. Okay. No, exactly. Let's try to run this. See, 10 is even. 10 is your printing. It's an even. We can able to, it actually divided and the remainder is 0. So even. Suppose if I make this as 13. See, 13 is odd. So this is what actually we can able to achieve this with the help of if else. But in many coding, you can able to see like this, a shortcut way. We call this as a conditional operator. Definitely we'll get more clarity after if statement, if else statement. We'll see that in a short while. So conditional operators done. Now seventh one, it's typeof. It's the name itself, typeof operator. We will be using this in especially debugging the automation code, because we want to know what is the data type of that particular particular variable, because in Java and all we will initialize with data type, okay, int, float, like that. But here we are not using that data type explicitly. So sometimes while debugging it may be a number, but the data type when we see it will be a string, that is within the double quotes, it's a number. So we have to find that. How we will find it? So the seventh one is, we say typeof. It's that a method, an operator. So this one we will try to learn this here. Okay, this one, because we already have the examples now. Okay, type of operator. So now we already knew that this is a number, but I want to know it's a number or not. How? It is in this employment ID, right? That variable name. So what I will do, a type of, what is that particular, I pass that variable. Now when I run this, see, it's a number. So it's a number, because why I'm saying, sometimes what will happen, like this, whenever we retrieve a value from the application, it will be always string data type. So we should not assume something like that. So when we run C now, it's a string. So sometimes we will be definitely using this type of operator. So let me try to implement for all the variables. So if it is a string, if it is a Boolean, and what if undefined, what is an output, we will get it. We'll try to find it. So let's run it here. It starts from here. So number, employment ID number, name, a string, state as true or false. We didn't declare any variable value, so undefined. And this is null. So that's what here it says. Type of operator. So we have completed the JavaScript operator. And one more operator is there, bitwise. And again, I'm saying we will not use that in real time. It is, we'll say bitwise. We will never use this type of operator in automation. So that's the reason I'm not going to teach that. If you want, you can check it in Google. So we are done with the all the types of operator. We will be directly using this in the upcoming program. So everyone very comfortable till now, all the types of operators. All good. Yes, no. And again, I'm saying usually I will not teach this much depth when I come for JavaScript, because in all the batches everyone will say I already know Java, so directly I will do an overview. But here, even if it is one or two members who never have an idea about any programming language, that's why I'm putting this much effort for operator stuffs in every topic. So you try to understand all these concepts properly. Still you have any doubt, you can ping me, I can teach you again. Because when you're very strong on these concepts, coding it in the not Playwright actually will use very less JavaScript concept. You itself will be seeing that when we go for the coding. But still, there are some places you have to write some programming logic, means these will be very useful. Now moving into the control statement. So if you see all the program, whatever we have learned here, see, when you run, what exactly happening, it is executing in a sequential way, line by line, right? But what if I want to control the program execution? Okay, after line 1 go to the line 10, like that. So is it possible to control? Means yes, we can do it. How? Means first with the help of if statement. So if statement is used to test the condition, which checks. Okay, there are three types of if statement: if else, and if else ladder. One simple scenario I say, suppose if you're going for a purchase. So many types of persons there. They go and they go to the shop one. Yes, they take something for sure and come out. And there are some people, maybe I'm not comfortable with this one, so they will have backup plan else. Else, if I like this, I'll buy this product, or else I'll go to the next shop. There are some people, if I don't like in shop one, else if I'll go to shop two, then also I'm not comfortable, I'll go with the shop three, shop four, and so on. Even after seeing all the shops, if I'm not comfortable, yes, what I can do, I can. Today, I don't want to do the purchase. So this is what the real time scenario, which we can able to code it with the help of if statement. Here, if you see the situation, we are controlling the decision. Okay, if not this, we have the backup. So a very useful one. Let's try to learn if statement. So you're going to check for a particular condition. If that condition is true, some code will be executed. If false, it will come out of the loop. First, we will learn with the if. It's a very, very easy concept. And again, I'm saying whatever we learned, this operators and the topics which I am going to teach, if else, while, do while, all these explanation which I am giving, no, it is common for all the programming language, Java, Python, C#, whatever you take, only syntax will change, but this explanation remains the same. So it means what, you're parallelly learning multiple programming language, because these concepts are common for all the programming language. Only syntax will vary. So now itself, if you feel anything tough, let me know. I'm ready to explain it again. So the sixth program, we'll go with the if statement dot js. So what is the program? It's very simple program. First, I'll go with the if statement. So we are saying like based on the age, your major or minor. Very simple example. Okay, so you're saying the age is 22. Of course, it's a major age. How you will say this age should be greater than or equal to 18. Then we will say it's a major age. See, we are using the conditional statement here. So how I will say if age is greater than or equal to 18, then curly braces. So what is the meaning of this? This is here we are going to write some set of code. So if this condition is true, then only this piece of code will be executed. So here I will say now console.log. I'll say this age is major age. So let's execute this. Now you see exactly what happened here is try to understand this line executed. Then it came here. So 22 is greater than or equal to 18. Of course, it is true, right? So when this condition is true only, it will go inside this particular curly braces statement. So what is an age? 22. 22 is major age. Very simple, straightforward answer. Suppose, what if we mention some other value? I'll put like 15. Control S. Now you see what happens. See, nothing happened. Nothing happened means exactly what it came here. 15 is greater than or equal to 18. Of course, it is false. So it was not going inside. After that, it came here. Here, there is no code. That's why it didn't display. So this is what, this is how if condition will work. Everyone clear with this concept? Please put a text message. I just want to know all are good or in the same line. Okay. Okay, fine. See, if the condition is true, then if statement will be executed. As I already said, these are all the fundamentals of previous topic. So here, if you substitute the value for 15, 15 is greater than or equal to 18, it is false. So it is not executing. It didn't went inside the if condition. Suppose if this value is anything greater than 18 or 18, whatever it is, I'll put 19. Now when we run this, see here, 19 is greater than or equal to 18, it is true. If it is true only, this particular statement will be executed. So that is what if condition. Now let's move on to, this is the first statement. There are some places where we have to use this particular if condition concept. But in many places, okay, if it is not greater than or equal to 18, then what is it is? It's a minor age, right? So we should always give, if it is true means okay. If it is false means we should say something to the user, right? So there are some cases where you have to go with the else statement. This is what else statement. So when this piece of code will be executed if it is false. Console.log, you can say is minor age. Now let's try to run this. You see the condition is true. So if I draft it, 19 is greater than or equal to 18, it is true. If it is true, if statement will be executed, 19 is major age. Now what I will do, I will convert this to 14. So we know very well when we run this, what will happen? It will go and check 14 is greater than or equal to 18. This is false. So whenever the condition is false, else statement. After this, it will go directly to this else statement is executed. This is what if else. And this is the common explanation in all the programming language. Remember. Everyone good till now? Okay. Right. Perfect. It's very easy only. Once you code it, you'll feel that. 1 minute. Okay. So what is next? So we already seen if else. Now if else if ladder. If else if ladder is in many places where we want to tackle multiple conditions, because here just one condition, no? What if I have multiple condition one by one? So in that case, it will be if else if ladder. We say ladder or if else if statement, whatever it is. Else if. In Java, we'll say if else if ladder. Here they are saying if else if statement only. So I'm going to write a program to validate the student's mark. So what the condition I can go for it is, okay, if the marks equal to 35, I'll say them as maybe just pass, just pass. If the marks is between 36, because 35 mentioned, no, to 90, I'll put 89. Then I will say them as good marks. The marks is greater than 90, more than above 90, above 90, 90 or above. I'll say that merit marks. This is what the requirement. So in many places we will have this. Even we have a grading system in company, right? Ratings, when they put marks for everything, final grading will be sent A, B, C, like that. So this is how the backend code will be. So now let's code for it. So first variable, we are dealing with marks. Let's go with all the value. Let's go with 35. So I'm going to write the condition. Many ways there. I can start from here and end here, or I can start from here and end here. It's purely up to the developer. So I'll go like this. If marks equal to 35. If someone gets marks like this, what I can say? I will say that particular marks is just pass. Just pass marks. So if you run it, of course, it's a just pass marks. Okay, what if someone gets scored like 65? So it is within this range, no? So we have to mention that. Already we have seen else. Now there is something called else if. You can have any number of else if statement. So else if now a particular person marks is between 36 to 89. There is no decimal number. So if that is the condition, I will say the marks is greater than 35. Tell me between. You have to tell me, you have to put a text message now. Don't unmute. Say it in message. I am going to combine the condition between this. Another one is marks is less than 90. So I want to combine this between these. So you will use and or which one will you use? It is and. Okay, here the
Okay.
marks is Good marks. So when we run this, let's see what exactly happens here. So of course this is false. It will come here, and 65 is greater than 35. Yes, it is true. And why R will be a problem, I will come to that. And then 65 is less than 90. It is also true. Both are true. Then it says that it is a good marks. I'll come to R now in a short while. Now I'll go for the another else if. So I'll directly say if the marks is greater than or equal to 90, then I will say it's just marks good. Oh, say just good marks. Merit marks. So now what is the thing is, suppose if someone is typing 95, here I mentioned R. So actually as per the requirement, they are merit marks, right? Let's see what happens. It is good marks. How come? Because when you put here 95 is greater than 35, it is true. And here 95 is less than 90, it is false. But if you mentioned R means what? Any one is true, then it will take it for granted. It's a good marks. This is a defect. So whenever we move with condition between some range, we should use and. Now when we run this, say it's a merit marks. Because this is true, this is false, then it will come here. 95 is greater than 90. This is true. It's a merit marks. Even we can write and marks is less than or equal to 100 between that range. We can do it. We can elaborate this program even further. Okay, if none of the condition, if that matches, then I will say console.log this enter a valid marks, something like that. Or okay, we can say that particular marks this fail marks. Okay, so someone get like 22 or 33. So it says that fail marks because it is not coming in this condition. So obviously it is a fail marks. So this is how if statement will work. So if you see here as a flow chart, first one, if statement, if the condition is true, conditional code will be executed. If code will be executed. If else means if it is true, if code. Else, if it is false, else code. And if else if ladder means it will check for the first condition, second condition, whichever the condition it is true, it will go for it and end the loop. If none of the condition, if it is working, then it will go to the okay. At the end, we have only else. So this is how if else statements or if else if ladder works. Now we'll move on to the next program. Let's see the time. Yes, we have. So next one is switch statement. This is also similar to else if ladder, but here again I'm saying based on the requirement we have to choose it. Here what is the requirement? It's based on the user requirement. Suppose if you have multiple conditions, then what you can do, you can go with if else if, because multiple condition within that range. Switch statement means your input value will be compared with multiple values. One very evergreen program. That's how every IVRS option is designed. So you call to a customer care, they say press 1 for English, 2 for Hindi, 3 for Tamil, Telugu. And when you press 1, automatically the language is chosen. And then it will ask press 1 for credit card, 2 for debit card, like that, no? So how it is designed means with the help of switch statements, because your input is compared with multiple input. And the second you press 1, it will go to that option. After that, Within one switch, they will have another switch that is called nested switch. We'll come to that. Nested loop, we'll come to that in a short while. So here, switch statement means your input test the equality of a variable against multiple values. So what I'm going to do, this program, very simple program, we'll go for it. 7, I'll say switch statement dot JavaScript. Okay, fine. So based on your input, if you say 1, it's a Jan month, 2, it's a February month, like that. So how? I'll say month. Now it is switch statement, and that particular value, whatever the value you're going to enter, it will come here, and after this it will go for the case. That is, oh sorry, tab. So what is that case? If it is 1, suppose you pressed 1, it will come and check in the case. Is it 1? Yes, it's 1. And that's the case. What you can do? Console dot log, and you can say it's a Jan month. Let it be as it is. I'll come to it. Still program is not fully completed. See Jan month. Okay, what if it is 2? Then I can say it's a February month. Then now you see, then case 3. Still the program is not completed. It's a defect. Now we will run it. So what is the biggest problem here? As the second we mentioned 2, it came here, it was 2, it checked case 1 and 2, no. When it came, yes, to 2, Feb month. But after that, it executed the next piece of code. So this is one of the problem with the switch statement. So what you should do after executing this particular case, come out of it. If you want to come out of it, what is the statement? It is a keyword is break. You have to break out of that particular switch statement. So I will add break to this. Break. And then break. Now let's execute. See, after February month, it just came out of that. So like this. So I'll try to same way. I'll try to add for all the month. 4, 5, 6. Okay. Jan, Feb, March. Okay. Suppose you're going to say number 11. Will it work? Control S. Clear. Okay, still I didn't give no 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. So let's run this now. Yes, 11 means November month. What if I enter something like this? See, because 113 was not available. So here, what should I do is in the else if ladder, in if and all, we have else no. Here we have something called default. So default means it is similar to else. If nothing, if matches, come to default. I'll say enter valid. Enter valid month number. So let's execute it. See, because this number is not there. So this is how switch statement will work. Default, if condition 1 matches, it is fine. Or else finally default. So what is the difference in the previous one? Both look same, depends on your requirement. If your requirement deals with the conditions, multiple conditions, then go with the if else if ladder. If every input value is having some meaning, you can go with switch statement. Suppose just now we saw a program like the else if ladder. Suppose if I want to implement this program with switch means we can do it. But how many case we have to put? 100 case. Case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5. That is not at all needed. So that is what I'm saying. Your input variable is having a very big meaning in that. You want to compare. Based on that, you have to give some output. Go with switch. Remember IVRS option, customer care. And it's all about the condition between the range, some specific condition. So you're going to apply a particular bank loan. Okay, this one, like one condition it will check, no? So there are multiple conditions. We'll go with if as a ladder. So this is done. What's done now? Still we have 9. So next one is looping statement. So initially what we learned, the program was executing line by line, right? Then what we did, after this line, you control the execution. Okay, from here, from here, something like that. If else if and all we did. But if I want to come back here and execute means it's not possible because it will go from top to bottom. You can't make the script to come up. So there are some situation, some piece of code you want to execute again and again and again based on the condition. If the condition is true, execute that code. Execute that code again and again until this condition is true, it will execute. The second this condition changes to false, it will come out of it. So it's like a loop, right? That's why it's called looping statement. Even when you listen to some of your favorite song, there will be always something called loop mode. So the same song or the same playlist will be running again and again. So that concept, any YouTube or any video platform, audio platform, how that particular functionality is implemented means with this help only. So that's what looping statement. If I want to do this, there are 3 ways: for loop, while, and do while. Today we will see for loop, while, and do while. We will see on Monday. So it's very easy again. So this is done. This is done. I'll create a new program. Let's say like looping statement dot JavaScript. Okay, this is for loop. So I have already taught you 3 concepts. One is initialization, then condition, and then increment or decrement. We have seen this post increment. Same, if you for minus, it's a decrement. If we combine all these 3 together, it is called for loop. Simple. For I want to print a number, print 1 to 10. Let's keep it like that. So I have to start with 1, right? Initialization. Sorry, that's my Java habit. I equal to 1. Then condition. What is the condition? I is less than or equal to 10. Then post increment. We learned unary, right? That's only plus plus. So I plus plus. It means what? First it will assign and then only it will increment. So now what I will do is console.log. I'll print I. So let's execute this and then I will explain with the code. Okay, how come this value? Let's try to figure it out. Very easy, team. First, Okay, I equal to 1. And then substitute 1 is less than or equal to 10. It's true, no. If it is true only, it will come. Looping will kickstart. So it will print 1. After that, it will come here. Now what will do this? This will first assign the value and then increment. By the time it comes here, I equal to I plus 1, which is equal to 1 plus 1, I will be equal to 2. Now the value of I will change to 2. Then it will check for the condition. 2 is less than or equal to 10. Of course, it is true. It will come again. It will print. Same process will be carried out. At one point of time, I will be 10. 10 is less than or equal to 10. Equal to, no. It is true. Then it will print 10. Now again it will be incremented by 1 now. Now 11 is less than or equal to 10, which is nothing but false. So when what will happen if the condition is false, it will exit the loop. So until that condition, this condition, no, until this condition is true, the loop, this piece of code will be executed again and again and again. The second this condition changes to false, it will exit out of the loop. So this is what for loop. So when we run this again, so same output. So that is what mentioned here, for loop. Here you see it is used to execute same piece of code repeatedly until the condition is true. So initialization, we are starting checking for the condition, and that particular for body loop is executed and update the expression, nothing but incrementing or decrementing. That will happen, and just keep on executing until the condition is true. When the condition changes to false, loop will terminate. One of the most important point here is here the number of iteration is fixed. So when you should use for loop is if you are damn sure about how many times I want to iterate. Iterate means that is a new terminology. It is executing again and again, no? So I equal to 1. Now I equal to 2, iterating, incrementing or decrementing by some value. So it is going to execute same thing again and again. Loop model. That's what we say iterate technically. So when to use for loop is when you are very sure about, okay, I want to iterate 10 times, I want to iterate 20 times, then you can go for loop. We have few more looping statement. Let's try to do that also. That is, first we saw for loop, same way we will see while and do while statement. This is also quite easier one. I can think I can code it here itself instead of going with a new program. So while loop, what exactly while loop it means? So this is also similar to for loop, but when you have to use while loop, when we have to use for loop. When for loop means, again we know what is a looping. Same piece of code will be executed again and again. That is what we call it as looping. So for loop means here what happens is if you are sure about iteration is fixed. So I'm damn sure like this is going to be executed. I want to execute this piece of code 10 times or 20 times or 30 times. When I know that beforehand, then I can go for loop. This is how you should remember, because when we get the requirement at that time only, based on the requirement we can able to choose which is the best looping statement. Then for while and do while, here what is the difference is iteration is not fixed. So you're not sure about how many times the same piece of code we are going to execute. Then while is better. So what is the syntax for that is, we'll try to code the same program that is printing from 1 to 10 using the while loop. So variable, we declare or initialize the value I equal to 1. And now while. Now we are going to check for the condition, that is I is less than or equal to 10. if this particular statement is true, then what we can do, print that particular value. After that, very important, that is post increment, because if we are not mentioning this, then this will end up into the infinity loop. So one small example here, I'll try to figure it out. See, exactly when value of I equal to 1, at that time what will happen, apply the condition. So I is, so 1 is less than or equal to 10, which is nothing but true. So if you apply here, this will be true. If it is true, then it will go inside the particular while condition. So what is the value of I? It is 1. So it will print 1. Then post increment, now I value will be incremented by 1. So again what will happen? It will check for the condition 2 is less than or equal to 10. Of course this is true. Then the output will be true. 2. Same way it will keep on try. At one point of time I equal to 10. If that's the case, then 10 is less than or equal to 10. Of course both the values are equal. Then it is true, it will print 10. When I changes to 11, then what will happen? 11 is less than or equal to 10, which is false. So we already know when this condition is false, what will happen? It will come out of the loop. So it will print till the value 10. So let's try to execute that. So if you see, this is for while loop, this is for loop, and this output is for while. So maybe I can change. We can put this for loop and this one we can put for while. Okay. So as we discussed, this is how it will work. Now there is another loop that is called do while loop. So this is also iteration is not fixed. Iteration is not fixed. But here, what is the biggest difference when we talk about while and do while is the way of here in the while we'll check the condition at the starting, in the do while we will check the condition at the end. So the syntax is, let's try to declare the variable again, I equal to 1, and then do, you're going to first, what we are going to do, first we are going to print it. That is going to print that particular value. Then we will check the condition at the end. What is that condition? I is less than or equal to 10. Of course, we need to do the post increment, or else what will happen? It will end up, the value of the I will not be incremented. So it will end up into infinitely loop. So when we run this, close. Okay, now see, again the same output. So if you apply here, but what is the thing is here, first I equal to 1, before it check for the condition, it will print, because do means this will do. So it will going to print number 1 and then check for the condition. What is the condition? One is post increment, and it will check for the condition. Yes, it is true. Then it will once again come here. But at the time of I, the same process will be keep on doing. At one point of time, this condition will changes to false. It will come out of the loop. Then what is the big difference here is, here the condition is checked at the starting, while do while is condition checked at the ending. But if we are going to execute for negative, that is for condition becomes false, see I equal to 15, in this case 15 is less than or equal to 10, definitely this will be false. So it will not go inside while. But when we talk in terms of do while, definitely, even though if the condition is true or false, the do statement will be executed at least once. So when I run this, you see here, for while, when you talk about a while, there is no output, but do while, it printed 15 because directly it is going to do it. So this is what the difference between while and do while. Do while means even though if the condition is true or false, that particular statement will be executed at least once. So that's about the while and do while. Now let's move on to the next programming concept. Using the same concept, I can able to make it out. So this is ninth one. That is, we can able to control. That is, exit out of the loop, breaking the statement. So many things we can do it. If I want to come out of the loop, or if I want to skip the current iteration, we have something called break statement. So again, control. We can able to control the loop. Okay. Already we have seen how to print a number from 1 to 10. So just now we saw that for loop. When we run, okay, when we run this, it is going to print number from 1 to 10. Okay. Now comes the, suppose we are going to, we want to come out of this loop when the number is 5. Let's assume that way. Then how can I say that? If I equal to 5, so when you reach this particular condition, you are saying break. Break means what exactly happens is it will execute one by one by one. So we already know how a for loop will work. If it is 1, 1 is less than or equal to 10, it is true, and this piece will not be executed until I is 5. So it will print 1, 2, 3, 4. When it comes 5, that is 5 is less than or equal to 10, that will be true. Then I equal to, that is nothing but 5 equal to double equal to 5, that is also true. Then it will come inside this break. Break means it will come out of this for loop. That's what break statement. I'll try to clear this. Now we'll run, see, that's why it's printed till number 4, because it just came out of that for loop. Break statement. Same way, same code, there is something called continue. Continue means instead of break, if I mention continue means what exactly this will do, this will skip all the code below the continue. In other words, it will skip the current iteration. It means when I equal to 5 means it will not go to the line number 16, rather than it will go to the line number 12. That is what we say, it will skip the current iteration. So let me run and show you that. See, now this we already know, break. When I equal to 5, come out of it. But in the continue, what exactly that mean? When number 5 comes, print this particular, if you want to print this particular in the console message, that is not executed, because when I is equal to 5, it is saying okay, continue. So skip the current iteration. So the simplest way to remember this will quit or exit out of the loop. But in the continue, what does that meaning? It will skip the current iteration, or else I can, in other way, code below continue will not be executed. Continue will not be executed. That's it. This is what the use of these two keywords. We'll be using whenever we want to try some programming concept, break, continue and all will be very useful. And as I already said, while working with the looping statement, suppose if we are forgetting this particular increment in loop. So here if you see the while loop, I value will be 1, 1 is less than or equal to 10. This will be true. When it comes for next time, it is still the same value, no? So for our, this value will be true only, it will not changes to false. It means we are not incrementing the value of I. And so we have to be very careful while especially using the any looping statement. See here, it's printing. It will never stop. So I should stop manually. Yeah, I think it's not going to stop. Stop code run. Oh no. In Eclipse we can able to stop, but it's still control C, control C. It got stuck. So let's wait. Okay. Stop code run. Okay, it's still running. It's not gonna stop. Okay. Where is that code? Control exit. It's not working.
Vinoth might be Control Z. Try Control Z.
Probably no, it's not happening. Okay, hold on. Now actually this should work, but it's not happening. Stop. Let me run this program once. Stop. Edit the program got stopped. Fine. So that's about the control, all the control statement. So we are done with the operators. We are done with the all types of control statement. Now, just few more topics are pending. With that, we will be completing this particular JavaScript. That is nothing but JavaScript function. So what is the use of function? This particular keyword is widely used in a different way. In Java, we say it as methods. In Python, in JavaScript, we say it as function. So method or function, it is almost same. So what is the use of this? Suppose if we are going to code it, that code needs to be reused multiple times. No, that is the advantage. That is having more advantage. If we can able to reuse it again and again, then you no need to code it. Suppose we are working like 3 members. Member 1, I written a code for launching the application, closing the application, login into the application means then why the next developer have to code that scenario which is already available, no? So they want to use it. How can they use it? Means we can able to create it as a function. So a function is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task or set of tasks. So in other words, it's nothing but It's break down your code into smaller modular piece, making it easier to manage, reuse, and understand. So this is a very any automation framework if we consider how we can able to develop this with the help of this particular concept only, that is nothing but functions. So we can able to declare the function with the help of function keyword, and I'll show you that now with an example. Okay, so next program, then functions dot JavaScript. Let's try to create it. So how can you define a function? With the help of function keyword. A very useful one we will be using like this in uh, Playwright. So function and function name. Let me create a function to greet. Suppose you can have a function without parameter. Sometimes you can pass the parameter. So okay, let's do like this. We'll do both the way. Console.log. You will say hello everyone. Okay. Now I want to run this function. How to call that function is greet, and then this particular the method. This is a method or a function we will call it. If I run this, it will not execute this piece of code. It will come to this and it will say it's a method. It will go and check, sorry, function or method, both are same. It will go and see, yes, there is a function greet, and go inside this and execute hello everyone. This is what function without input parameter. Sometimes we can also give input parameter. So if that's the case, now I can make it very dynamic. Hello. What I can do is name. So name, I can able to pass the name. Like in this case, what we can do, see, hello Vinoth. So what exactly happens? You're passing this value into this particular variable, and in this variable Vinoth value will be saved, and this will be passed here. This is a static value, this is a dynamic value. So hello Vinoth. This is how we can do it. So what is the main advantage of doing this is reusability. So you here just one line of code. Just imagine if you have 100 lines of codes, you no need to code it again and again. You can simply reuse it. See, I can also reuse one more time the same method. I can give any other name. I can reuse n number of time. So let's run this now. So same method I'm executing again and again and again. So this is what the reusability and high maintenance also. Suppose tomorrow they says like, okay, instead of hello, I don't want, just say welcome. You have to change welcome, this word. So what is an advantage? Suppose if we are writing as a separate code, in every place we have to go and change console.log welcome like that. But here it's a function node. I will just give here. So in one place, if I update whichever the place, whichever the from which place, if it refers this particular function, means automatically that will be updated. See here. So this is what the main use why all the programming language they come up with functions or method. Especially in terms of automation, we want to create as many as functions or user defined with our methods. Any word you can use it. Main advantage, reusability, easy maintenance. Very simple. And in some case, first we learned the concept of method, that is function. First one, what we learned, a function. without parameter. Then we learned function with parameter. Now just now I passed it. Same way we also have function with return type, function without return. This is without return. It is not giving any. Suppose if I say, okay, add 2 plus 3 and give me the addition, means it should reply me, right? So that's what we say return type. So this is classified into function without return values. So just do what I say. That's it, enough. I don't want any output from you. That is another type. This is a majorly classified function without return type, function with return type, return value or return type, whatever it is. So I will try to code it very simple program, addition of two number. So if we want to create a function keyword, add numbers. So what are the two numbers? I'll say a comma b. It can be anything. So now we have to write we can directly do it with the help of return keyword. I can able to give this like this also, we can do it. That is, you're passing a two number. Okay, I'll say number 1, number 2, and those two number I want to add it and return it, means after adding give me the output. Suppose this is how in most advanced way they do it, or else you can save it to sum, or you can save it to result variable, and now what you need to do, you can return that particular result. So anyway, either way you can do it. So let's try to add numbers. You will see automatically it is saying it can be data type. So I will say 10 comma 20. So what will be the output? The output will be 30. So when we run this, let me save, clear, twice. Okay, I didn't say to print, right? We have to print this now. So what we can do, I'll save it to a variable sum, and then console.log sum. So let's run now. See here 30. So what exactly happened is, when it comes, it will not execute. It came here. First, this piece of code will be executed. So it will go and check, is there any function with add numbers? Yes. And with two parameter? Yes. This two matches. So in this place, it will be 10. In this place, it will be 20. Then what happens? That's two numbers will be addition will happen. 10 plus 20, 30. It will be saved in the result. And now you are returning that value. So what will happen? It will return when it comes here in this particular variable sum, the 30 will be saved. That's what we are trying to print here. So that's what we say, a function with return type, a function without return type. You can call either. So it's purely depends upon the requirement. We have to decide which one to use it. So everyone good till now? All good? Because we will be using a lot of functions. All good? Okay, perfect. So now we'll move on to the all fundamentals only. It's very easy. See? Okay, perfect. Thanks for replying. Let me close. So next program, 11th one, variable scope. So scope means what is the power of that variable in different places. So here we normally classify into a variable into a global scope and local scope. So this concept they try to get it from the Python. In Java and all, we have instance variable, static variable, local variable. Here, no such concept. In JavaScript, we have global scope, local scope. So what is that global scope? Let's try to write a function. This function, I'll say local scope. So the scope, so we already know what is a function by now. Within this function, I am declaring a variable x. I'll say this local scope. Simply input string value. This is nothing but a local variable because the particular scope is only within this function. So I'll try to print this. So this scope, the value in this particular variable x, this particular value will be saved, and how long this will be active or it will hold the values until you execute this program. When you come out of this particular function, the value of x will be automatically erased. You cannot access this value outside the function. I'll show you how. So let's execute this method. When we run this method, of course, the output will be local scope. This is what we expected. Now, I want to access this particular x outside because it's a variable, no? So first we are focusing on local scope. So if I try to access outside that is, this scope is only within this function. Now I'm trying to, okay, I know what is the value of x. I'm trying to pull that value. Let's see what happens. It throws the error. What it says, x is not defined. It means that particular variable is not in anywhere in the program because it cannot access within the function, inside the function. So now we can understand the meaning of scope. The scope is only within the function. Okay, I'll say this as a local scope. Now the next one, global scope. Global scope means from the name itself, at least you would have guessed it, we can able to access anywhere in the program. So if that is the case, you should not, you can declare anywhere or maybe outside the program. I'll say y equal to global scope. So it means outside the function you mentioned means you can use this anywhere within the function, outside the function, wherever you want. Let me create a function global scope. Inside this function, I want to access this value. Access y. Let's see what happens. Global scope. Let's run it. See here, it's working. So when we run this, it just went and checked where is y. Y is outside the function. Let me bring and put that value here. Even you can use this anywhere. Suppose you call this one again. And see now, global scope. Because this can be, it can be accessed anywhere in the program. But this one accessed within the function only. So this is one of the most important fundamentals. You must know it. All good till now? Everyone good? Okay, fine, perfect. So because now we are trying to increment the complexity, we know what is variables, we learned about methods, nothing but the function. And this, when we there are some places where we want to use our object across the function or only inside the function or across the program. So we have to decide where to initialize that value. Now what we are going to do, we know, yes, right, okay, we know one thing, that local scope, global scope, how to declare a variable var. Actually there are few more ways we can declare this variable, because this we will be using it in our Playwright in many places. So at that time you should not get confused. This is something new concept. Try to focus back. So what I can say, level program is done. No? Let's say variable declaration methods dot js. Okay, quite lengthy program. Let's say try to make it easier. So what is the first one? First way is using the var. So you can use this var. This is a var. We have already seen just now. Let me create a function, because in Playwright everything will create function only. So the function name example of var. So I'm directly saying it's true. So here var x equal to 10. And see, this is inside the if statement. If now when we try to use this x value, I'm going to print this and see what's gonna happen. So let's call example this function. If we call this function, what exactly happened? It called the function, it just went. Of course, I said Boolean, it's true only. So it comes here, the value of x is 10, then it just mentioned here. So the output is 10. So first part is 10. But the same variable, I can, in simple, the scope of local and global is done. That's a different thing. Now we are focusing on variable declaration. So the variable declaration within the function, within the statement. Okay. So this is like a nested. Some more what to say, some more additional concept for the variable. So this is a one way, and there is another way called let. So this var is function scope. So you use anywhere in the function, you can use it. Okay, var. But there is something called let. Let is block scope, block comment. So what is that block? This if is a block, right? So now the same program, I'm going to code it again. So let's say example for let. So using the let keyword also we can do it. True. And now what I'm going to do, let y equal to 20. Okay. If I print this, suppose if you're going to print here also, it is going to work. Same way, if I print this y inside this, and I will call now, what is the name? Example let. Okay, let's try to execute this. See now exactly this 10 10 means what happened here is this is inside this code. When we call this example where, this one it executed, where we can able to use within the block, then outside the block, that is within the function. Okay, now when we use let within the block, this particular block, it is working. Okay, now you see what happens. If I try to access outside this particular block, will it work or not? See, it won't work. Y is not defined. So in suppose in this is like, of course we are declaring a variable. That declaration, if you're going to use where, you can use anywhere in the function. But some of the object you want to give scope only within that block statement, means then what you can do, instead of var you can use let. Maybe in the playwright and all, some object scope I should not allow to go out of that particular statement, I can use let. For me there is no restriction like that, I can use var. So this two usage actually we have it. One is using var, another one is let. Now there is something called declaration. So we can able to redeclare. Okay, see, you already declared value of x equal to 10. Suppose in the same program, I am going to redeclare. Redeclare means one more time I am trying to declare it. What will happen? X equal to 20. Same here, one more time. Let y equal to 30. So this is not going to work. I will comment this. Okay. So what I did is, you already declared a value x equal to 10. Now when this comes, this will override 10 by 20. Same thing. X, y you already mentioned 20. You're trying to override y by another value 20 by 30. First of all, is it allowing thing? No, right? It's not allowing. See, first of all, the declaration itself, it is throwing the error. So it will not allow. So it means what? Sometimes you should not allow any of the value. See, 20. So let me put 30 for easy understanding. So 10 is replaced by 30. 10 is replaced by 30. This 20 remains the same. Suppose if I want to replace 20 by same variable, it will not allow. So in some cases, we don't want to reuse the same object. So at that time, I will use let. The second you mention let to a particular variable, same variable cannot be overridden, replaced during the runtime. So that is one more concept. If we do it, it is going to say y is not defined. Everyone good? Everyone understood the minute difference? All. Where you can use anywhere in the function. Let only the scope is within this statement, if statement. Then the second difference is you can use redeclare. See, some of the objects. So it means what? In automation, with the first name web elements, last name web element, email ID web element, you're trying to save it to a variable. So at that time, if you mention var, means that object can be replaced. So that is going to be big trouble, right? So what we will do, we'll use let also. So let first name in this particular place, save this particular object. It means anywhere in the program we cannot override. So like that, we have some concept. And third way to declare a variable, of course, constant. And this is what 100% we use it. Constant. Constant means you cannot change this value. So like 3.14, some big number. Okay. Now console dot log pi value. Okay, well, let's run this. So the value is saved. Suppose in anywhere in the program, you try to change this value, like will it allow or not? Let's see. So you already mentioned this and trying to print it. Const is the keyword. Now you're trying to change this value, and then so see here, it's not allowing because it's a constant. You cannot update a constant, right? So this is the third way to declare the variable. So what is the most used one in our programming is we will use const. Just for const only, I just taught you these many concepts, but still when we work in the framework level and all, what we will do, let also we will use it, where also we will use it, constant also we will use it. So everything is for variable. And when you don't want to change the value of a variable, you have to make that as a constant. How will you declare? const const. So in the Playwright, everywhere I will be using const. So what is the meaning of that? Okay, first name. I already said with let no. Sorry, I wrongly said that. Let again, that scope is only within that if no. Const only we will be using const in the top of the program. Okay, first name, web element, last name, email. Every web element we will be declaring with const. It means what? That object reference, that object place, XPath or CS selector, that cannot be changed anywhere in the program. Widely used concept in the Playwright. But still this is also we must know it based on the situations and scenarios we can use it. So a short recap. So we started with 119. Okay. We already know what is the use of for loop. For loop means it is going to execute same piece of code again and again. When you should use for loop, when you're sure about how many times you're going to execute. And when you have to use while and do while else, you're not sure about how many times you're going to execute. And what's the difference between while and do while else? In the while, the condition is checked at the starting, do while condition is checked at the end, and then comes even if suppose if the condition is false, while code will not be executed. In do while, even if the condition is false or true, at least once that piece of do code will be executed. And then I want to come out of a particular loop, for loop or switch means I will use break. I want to skip the current iteration or whatever the code below that for a particular iteration means I can use continue. And while working with looping statement, we have to be very careful giving the post increment or exit condition. If you are not giving that, it will lead to the infinity loop. Then for reusability, what we are doing, we are creating the function, sometimes function without parameter or with parameter. And this function is used for reusability, easy maintenance. So here we can reuse any number of time and we are passing some input parameter value. And in some cases, we want to create a function where I need output from that. We call that return type, return value. So here how with the help of return, if you remember just now we saw inside the function, if we declare that value, it will not come out. If you remember this variable scope, see you mentioned something inside this function, we cannot use it, right? The scope is only within that, but still I want to use it. I want this value. What you can do? You can use the return keyword. Okay, this value from here I'm going to return to someone. So with the help of return, we can use it. And then comes scope, local scope, global scope. Local scope means any variable declared within the function. Local scope. When you declare outside the function, you can use it anywhere within the function, outside the function. These are all called global scope. After that, this one is the program. I will upload all these programs. So what we need to do here is the how variables can be declared. One is using the var, another one by using the let, and of course this is not a variable. Constant means a value which will not change. So using const also we can save a particular value to a particular name. This cannot be changed anywhere in the program if we declare const keyword. And what's the difference between var and let is var scope? Now it's a function scope. So anywhere in the function you can use it and you can redeclare it. But when it comes for let, this scope is only within this blocked. This we say blocked comment or blocked statement, we can say. So you cannot access outside that. You cannot redeclare it. That's what the difference between var and let. And it's a very famous interview question. If you go for a playwright interview of any customers, they will definitely try to discuss a lot of stuffs from this area: var, let, const.